Basically what we're projecting in there is property tax increases are again allocated to the general fund for the projection. We assume shared revenues will increase based on the trend that they have been increasing. So the state, under the shared revenue law that was passed, is required to increase about 2% in a given year, your shared value. So we've accounted for that here. So based on your historical, you've seen an increase in about 2% every single year. We've assumed that in this model. We've also used the 5-year historical average projections for your permits, fines, and public charges, public charges for service. Hope also with the permits is that if you have new construction, we'll see an increase in your building, your HVAC, your plumbing permits. And then all other revenues are remaining flat. So basically we took kind of the, I would say the flexible, the fungible, the values that are not necessarily, permits in a given year can change. How many tickets the police issue in a given year will change, that sort of thing. We've tried to take an average out there versus kind of having keeping it at a static number. And then everything else was just kind of assumed to remain flat. So from there we get into the next page, what our projection methodology is, if you recall from the last one we did. So in your expenditure listing, so we go through your budget line by line, and we assign each code to each of the different types of categories. Commodities, which is things like fuel and supplies, uniforms, that kind of thing. Employee insurance, that's health and dental, and post-employment health plans, long-term disability. Insurance, that's property and liability insurance. Services, that's anything for like advertising, printing, any kind of maintenance agreements, or any other like professional services. So like anything you pay us for, or your garbage contract, anything you contract for is included in services. And then wages, that's typical. Your salaries, your hourlies, all your benefits, overtime, that sort of thing. So we've assumed on this commodities 3% increase, employee insurance about 7%, just property liability at 3%, services at 3%, and wages at 2%.
Are those based off of our data, or is that like a general?
That's just a general, yeah. And obviously we can adjust that if you'd like us to. I know employee insurance, tends to be the one that
healthcare and all that.
Yeah. So I've seen 11 to 12%. I've also heard like that the state is coming down a little bit. It's more like 8%. So
it's 8, I think.
Is it 8? Okay, 8.5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and obviously like some of these things are, like wages, for instance, you control those things in part, in some ways, obviously, but services, same thing, you kind of control that to some extent, right? Commodities, you control that to some extent in terms of what you're able to purchase, what you can purchase, looking for deals, that sort of thing. But this is kind of just a generalization, and also what we've seen in other communities that we've done this for. So that gets then to the general fund summary on page 17. So we take the categories of all your different revenues, all your different expenditures. We have the actuals for 22 through 25. Actually, 25 should be an estimate, but close enough to actuals. Your 2026 budget, then projecting out based on those projection percentages for each of the different categories, or each of the different budget line items for categories. So what you see here is again, it's a conservative estimate on revenues, conservative or assumption on expenditures being higher than revenues. So we're seeing a deficit, kind of in 2027 through 2031. And obviously that's increasing. One of the things obviously to think about on that one is you can control trying to control your expenditures, but obviously looking at potentially other options. And kind of I think the one last thing you guys have is probably a levy limit referendum. That would be where you'd probably have to go. So because you have a wheel tax currently, is public fire protection, is that paid for out of fire and EMS still, or is that?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure what I'm, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure, yeah.
So the
It's
utility.
on the utility.
It's on the utility, yeah. If it's a separate charge on the utility bill, then that probably means it's probably out of the levy.
Yeah.
It is, but it stays with the utility, I think that's.
It does, correct, yeah, it does, yeah, so that was so there's kind of, there was the really two I call low-hanging fruit, when it comes to, things that you could remove out of, that are supported by your tax levy and move them to charges. So one was, what was called the public fire protection fee, or known as or some people call it the hydromental fee. And that's basically where the general fund, the tax levy was paying the utility, because the utility is required to charge that fee under their tariff, under their PSC mandated, their mandated fees. So if that's been moved out, that was sort of, you didn't have to take a negative adjustment on that. The other thing is recycling fees. That's also so if you charge recycling fee, or if you're paying for recycling through your tax levy, that amount, whatever amount you're charging for recycling, can be moved out of that and shifted to a charge on the tax bill.
Utilities charges $1 on every utility bill for recycling.
Okay, so,
But I don't know what else, other than just our normal garbage, I don't think we have anything else. Because obviously the garbage picks up recycling,
Yep.
but the Bears group also.
But I think she's getting confused with that charge is coming on a utility bill, but it's for the city.
correct.
We get.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's,
So that comes to the city? The $1 on each utility?
No, that's different, that's recycling. He's talking, are you talking garbage?
No, he's talking recycling.
You talking e-waste?
no, I'm talking recycling,
You have a recycling fee of $1.
E-waste, for e-waste is.
but not for regular curbside pickup.
Right.
Okay, so the $1 on the utility bill
It's
is,
just an e-waste
Just
separate
the e-waste
program.
separate, okay.
It's nothing to do with them, but
Okay.
you're talking,
what I'm talking about is the fee, the total fee that the city pays for recycling. And you contract with John's?
No.
No,
With
GFL. You contract with GFL. So GFL, there's a garbage, they garbage and recycling, right? So it sounds, if I'm correct, in here in the levy, it sounds as though that's levy, the recycling fee, the recycling portion of your contract with GFL is supported by your taxes, by the tax levy. Is that
Correct.
correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, you bring it in and
Yeah.
it's a wash.
So that can be moved and placed as a charge. Now, that doesn't mean that you're, I'll tell this right now, you're not your taxpayers, your citizens will still have to pay, they actually will be paying a little bit more, because they'll be paying the recycling charge now. But what it is you can shift that amount, whatever that contracted amount is, that can be shifted into a charge as opposed to being levied on your tax, as part of your tax bill. Does that make sense? And it's what's called a covered service. So the state, when they adopted the levy limit law and revised it, basically said that a lot of communities, what was happening was they were shifting charges, things that were paid for via the levy, shifting it to special charges, essentially to get it, quote unquote, around levy limits. They then said, no, you can't do that. So you need to basically offset whatever you take out of your levy that's going into a tax bill. But they exempted public fire protection and recycling. Those are the two things that they
so
exempted.
that could go in the tax roll.
It could,
No,
you can take it off the tax roll.
Tax roll.
Yeah, recycling. Garbage is not covered, so garbage is not one that's covered. And garbage is still in your levy. So, if you were to shift all of it to a charge, you'd have to reduce your levy by whatever amount the garbage is. Now, I have seen, because the most recent levy limit law was back in, with covered services goes back to your 2013 levy year, your 2014 budget. So what we've seen with a lot of things, I'm getting a little sidetracked here, but with garbage as an example, is a lot of communities have actually decided to take that hit on their levy and shift their garbage to a charge, a separate charge on either the utility bill or tax bill, because their levy hasn't been able to keep up with the cost of garbage service. So I was previous city administrator, City Cudahy, we did that exact same thing, because actually the amount that we had been levying between 2013 and 2021, was such that I wasn't able to keep up with the levy in order to keep up with GFL as part of my contract. So that's an option to look at too. We'd have to go back and look at what you were levying in 2013 for garbage service, because that's actually what you'd have to reduce it by. So if you've actually increased the levy from 13, so if you actually increased the levy since then, or what levy taxes have supported the garbage collection. Sometimes it's actually, you take a little bit of a hit on the levy because it goes back to 2013, but you may find a savings in the levy in totality, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
And fire protection can be, what controls that, what you can charge for fire
That,
protection as a fee?
oh, so it's PSC mandated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so the PSC, there's a line, a dollar amount on the line item on the tariff, on the charge sheet. Yeah, it's restricted based on that.
Thanks for the
Yeah.
sidebar on that, that's good information.
So any questions? Sorry, we got on a little bit of tangent there.
Well, in your projections though,
Mhm.
the other one you showed like a 1% increase or something like that. This one you didn't change any of the property tax all the way across.
Correct. Yeah, well, so we assumed, we assumed that here, just to simply keep it level in this case, to not show any kind of impact. It really wouldn't probably impact the deficit that much, correct? Okay.
Okay.
So the next sheets, we're just talking about your capital improvement plan. There are noted in here some just highlighted areas of some projects that we didn't get numbers for, because I know that that's still in discussion. So we can adjust that and make changes there, as you get numbers in. A lot of this, I think, really was just there was, I think, one thing looking at for general obligation debt, and most was computer aid. So in terms of the modeling out for geo debt, it's probably not gonna be significant unless you change your potential funding
So
sources.
the two yellow ones here, so you have the ambulance,
Mhm.
we already paid for that. We took out money a long time
Yeah,
ago.
that's why that was on there, but it was for 25.
Oh, it's for 25, okay,
Yeah.
we can take that off then.
What is this one, furnaces, those were also taken
Yeah,
care of in
yeah.
20.
So
So were these all
Yeah,
25s?
so those were all 25.
Okay, we can take them off then.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. Then
Yeah,
that's just,
Yeah,
yeah,
and then I'll get you the details on these other things too,
Okay.
so we can update it, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, there's a lot of this stuff is,
Has already been.
It was from
Yeah.
the prior year.
The prior
and
year.
then- And then
Okay.
right now, who knows how that's gonna change, so we might as well wait until
Sure.
we're gonna go through all that.
Yep.
Should know better in a couple months. where-
Yeah.
And that would make more sense to
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
update it then.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. So, so overall about, right now, showing about 13.9, in capital improvements, that are needed, in the next 5 years, or 6 years, excuse me. And then about 9.1 million of that is proposed to be borrowed for. So, from there, we take that information kind of at the bottom of this sheet here, what your debt obligations
Where do you
potentially
see,
would
where
be.
are you showing your 13.9?
If you go, so it's actually in two, where it says actual CIP costs,
Yep,
and then, under sources of funding. So it should be the same, 13.9, on the very, very right-hand side.
oh, over there.
Yep,
Yeah.
Yep.
So many numbers.
Yeah, it's a
Got
lot,
it.
yeah, just kind of focusing on, it's kind of the total amounts there.
Got
Yeah,
it.
because this is a lot of, and there's,
It's a moving target, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, and obviously this is a projection, you're not obligating any to borrow anything at this point, you're not obligating.
You just threw these in as
These are just,
Yeah.
just to explain,
Got it.
exactly,
And
so.
that's, then once we kind of go through the budget,
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
realign this one.
And
So-
do we have our debt where it's dropping off too? Is that where some of these numbers up here are changing?
No,
No.
that would simply be, that's all new debt there. So if you wanna go to the next slide, that does show,
Okay.
your existing general obligation debt and where, some of it will be dropping off. So you are, you having total geo debt payments going through 2037 right now. The red item, or the red columns, those are abatements that are coming from, payments from other sources. So water's paying some of the debt, in those given years, and your, TID 3 is also paying that as well too. But you have in the case of your levy, your tax levy, you do have debt coming off, at least in terms of, from a taxpayer perspective, that's not being paid, not being paid by the TID in 2032. Because after 2032, TID 3 is the source. The increment generated from tax increment District 3 is paying for those, versus it being levied on your taxpayers. Okay? So from that CIP plan, we'll take the debt sizing plan. So this is just plugging in what the needs are in a given year, and proposing kind of a financing, a plan for that. And in your packet, in the secondary, the supplemental sheets that I gave out, it does go through I call it the amortization schedule, or the payback schedule, proposed or projected. I didn't include this in the presentation, but it's in the supplemental items. But we're showing basically 5 borrowings to occur, 1 in 26, and then 27, 29, 31, and 33. The ones in 27, 31, and 33 would be proposed to be to go out to market, to go out to the securities market, because the amounts are fairly large, or larger. They're larger than $1 million. General kind of rule of thumb is $1 million and above is what's attractive to underwriters in the market. A little bit below that, we look at doing something like a direct placement with a local bank or financial institution. So obviously there's cost of issuance included in the ones where you see the orange. That includes our fee, your bond counsel fee, disclosure counsel, rating agency fee. So that's then you take that, and that's where we get to the your debt model and your debt service levy. Again, I didn't put the payback or repayment schedules in here, but this that information is in those supplemental documents. The next page, which says debt service levy, shows the proposed new debt, the total principal and interest that's being paid in those 5 different issues. We show annual taxes on the right-hand side here, what is projected out to about $320,000 home for what the average tax bill would be. We show relatively stable, but obviously in some years your levy's going to increase because you're going to be borrowing more money. But overall, we try to get it to be try to be as relatively stable as we can. And I think we can probably potentially tweak this a little bit more to get a little bit more level here and there. But this is kind of just the first go at it, knowing that there's going to be some revisions potentially to the CIP.
It's budget season.
And then finally, just your borrowing capacity is on the last one here. No issue with regards to that in terms of both your policy limit and your statutory limit. So right now you're at about 23% of your limit per policy, 18% of your statutory limit. Overall, if you were to continue to keep the same policy, you'd be at about 34% at the maximum amount of your limit, statutorily about 26%. So the only time we start to be concerned potentially, and I say, we're quotes concerned, because it depends on what it's for and all these other things, but is usually about 75% is where you start to get into a little bit of a concern. But you have a relatively low debt ratio here, even with the potentially new borrowing. So, and that's obviously reflective of you utilize your state aids, your computer aids from cash pretty effectively to kind of minimize your debt cost. Any questions on that? So then finally we have projected levy and rates here. So again, this is taking all your projections out, including your change in levy and change in debt service, kind of shown in the middle, to get to what we would have under your tax rate change. So you'll see some years where there's an increase in, relatively substantial increase in that total levy. That's really related to debt, since you can't really change your levy all that much in terms of your operational levy, but you obviously have capacity within your debt service to increase the amount based on what you need, and that's obviously calculated to your levy amount. So we also show too is, if you notice the tax rate on the next page, kind of the levy and the rates declining. The levy spikes because you have some years where your debt service is increasing, but the levy or the rate goes down. That's a function of your assessed value. So the larger the pie, the more based on the higher the values are. If you're not substantially increasing your levy proportionally to your value changes, your tax rate's going to go down. That's a function of how the math works. But you still have to, I should say, still the same amount, the same amount of money that you have to fund.
Are these our tax rates
Yeah.
in here?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then just the last page, just is your levy components. So the biggest component obviously is your general fund, and then fire EMS, followed by parks and library, and then debt service, is the other largest component. CDA doesn't have a whole lot to it, but those are the big ones. So obviously, but the largest is your general fund. Okay. Any questions? I know that was a lot, and
Appreciate it.
Mhm.
It's gonna be helpful going forward.
yeah, and this is, if this is something you'd like for us to do annually, prior to heading into budget season, we're always happy to do that. It helps, I think, with budget discussions, particularly on, I think, the capital side and knowing, what you're projected out, what you may need to borrow in the future for. It's, obviously, it'll be, decisions of the council in terms of, when you pass your budget and that sort of thing, and what you wanna fund, and, obviously, these are projection models and things can change, but, it is, I think, a helpful and useful exercise. We have a lot of clients that do this, annually at about this time.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, where are we here? All right, we're on to new business, May 2026 financial statements.
We'll be in touch.
Okay,
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yep. yeah,
Payroll,
Much more today.
payroll in the amount of $95,357.58, general disbursements 280, 487.47, and the clerk reports. Do I have a motion to send to council for approval? I will so motion. I have a second?
Leslie will second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries. 5B, discussion on updating ordinance 57, fire department organization and regulations.
We started this a while ago, and then we stopped because we needed to get the bylaws and all that other stuff done. So I guess I wanted to bring this back up for another review of it and see what else we have to change, because I know the composition is wrong. So I need their input of, I think we use their bylaws of what they have on there for, their officers. But we now have a third lieutenant, but the treasurer position's gone, correct? Yeah.
And listed into the composition is not it's missing the service director and the training coordinator.
Right, so I wasn't sure how much of your bylaw chart, because some of them are elections and some of them are appointed, so I wasn't sure what you wanted that to say.
Almost all of them that would be in the payroll section. of
Okay. Okay. And is this 28 active, where does that come from? Do we make that number? Does somebody else make that number? I know there's something in the statute,
I
but,
think it refers back to the state statute. You can't fall underneath that number, but I am not
100% sure.
positive.
Yeah, we should probably figure that one out just to make sure that it's the right number, or I don't want us to get dinged for not having that many.
Right.
What's our current status, do you know? For active members?
38 fire. You're up pretty close to 38 fire and 13 EMS.
I don't remember if it's based on population.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't,
We'll chat GPT it and say, where's
Yeah,
that number
right.
come from? Cause I know there's something in the statutes that
there
just.
is a number in the
yeah.
statute for sure.
Yeah,
I think the statute just for the minimum.
Yeah, and that's what we're referring to, is the
Right.
minimum, we can't have fewer than 28
Right.
active.
20%.
I mean, we could make it as simple as just referencing if there's a state statute that
Statute.
calls it out, we could just reference that. We don't need to really.
So if that state statute changes, we don't have to change with it.
correct, correct.
Do you guys wanna research that and report back to us?
Yeah, we can take care of that.
Anybody have any other questions regarding
Yeah, 'cause I think-
The ordinance changes,
Yeah.
so we're removing fireman,
Right, we,
There's a lot of he's and.
Yeah. yeah.
yeah, we, I think some of those already were done, like we took the he and just said the fire chief. He, the fire chief. I think Charlie, you might have already did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Firefighter. Yeah, so if you just wanna peek at this quick, I mean, if you think everything is good, let's just obviously make sure we have what we need in the, top section, which we can add, we know what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty close, it's just a few of the wordsmithing and like the state statute and making sure everything else,
Yeah.
there's really not too much that needs to be done.
Didn't we always, or still, I should say, have a question regarding the members account and the donation? Like, we have 3 of them, like the city has one, and you guys have 2. Wasn't there something weird with that, or did you get that
We were
figured
just
out?
gonna, yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's been fine, cause they have their supporters, and then we
Which
have
is
the
the
city.
501c, right?
Yeah.
And then we have the one
everything else-
that's for like
Basically,
memorials.
everything else goes into the members account, which is listed in here.
And that's all fine?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's state statutes.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah,
fine.
so, yeah, we're good.
All right, we will, do we need to defer?
Yeah, I would just,
I mean, it says discussion, so there wasn't really. an
right,
action,
right.
so It's just
If you can
additional.
get back to us so we can update it and then get it in, we've got a whole bunch more organizational things
Yeah.
that we've gotta do too.
Let us know when you have it ready and we'll get it on
Okay.
a, on an
It
agenda.
shouldn't take very long.
Right.
Maybe we can do everything with like the fee schedule
Yep.
and
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
all
Cause
at
we were
once.
gonna ask about that, yeah,
Yeah, I asked about.
'cause that had some
before.
wordsmithing in it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Great, thank you.
5C, Resolution 2026-28, purchase of Sand Pro 3040 for the park. This was brought before us by Gabe for his department.
What's the
It
logo
then,
on our desk?
it- apparently our Sand Pro, which they use for diamond prep, it's a little 3-wheel machine, gave up the ghost. It was an old 1983 model. And they basically can't find parts for it anymore, so. It's one of those things that are sort of a needed item with the amount of work that it gets with the diamonds that we have. So his proposal was to forego the ceiling, the upper pavilion ceiling project, and replace it with the purchase of the Sand Pro, which would basically, it's just exchanging budget numbers, so it's basically a resolution to change the allotment of those funds is what the ask is. Is there any questions about the Sand Pro? Now, alternatively, if we wanted to fund this in some other mechanism, we could do that. I'm just bringing that up because we do have undesignated funds that could be earmarked if we wanted to continue down that path of emergency funding. But if we wanted to still
would you
do
want?
the ceiling,
Okay,
and then we would use undesignated funds for this emergency purchase, but I'm not sure we wanna do that or not.
well, I know he mentioned that he thought the ceiling was actually gonna be higher than the 40,000.
Well,
I don't know if he did get the quotes yet.
he never went out for RFP for the ceiling, but I brought to the point, well, it's not just the ceiling that needs to get fixed, it's all the insulation and stuff that's above it, we didn't know where that quote would come in at.
Okay.
So we still don't know where that's gonna be, and we may not have enough money in there anyhow.
I mean, it's a huge place up there.
It's a lot of square feet.
It is,
Is that just the upper pavilion, or is he doing something with the ceiling tiles on the lower one too?
He
that
wants to
would-
do both, but this 40,000 was slated for
The upper,
Yes.
okay.
And
can you make a note to work with him on building projects for, if we can get an estimate or get a better, for budget season, obviously, because capital's gonna be one of the first things we kinda look through, depending on which way we wanna go, but obviously, if there's not enough to cover it, we could make this resolution go through as is. Thoughts, comments, or questions?
Well, it's just unfortunate that we still have a piece of equipment around that is that old.
1983.
That hadn't been,
Well,
no, it's frugal and I get it,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
the old John Deere tractor,
1981.
yeah.
But the
so-
city purchased the tractor, man. This piece of equipment we acquired used.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I like the idea of moving this money and reserving the option to use it unassigned later as we get further down this year of budgets and see what other emergencies we have. If we could put together an RFQ and get a better ballpark of what
Yep.
that ceiling and insulation is gonna look like, then we could maybe make a better, more informed decision. So with that, I think this is probably the appropriate approach.
I agree.
So with that, I will make a motion to recommend approval to City Council for resolution number 2026-28, authorizing the purchase of the Sand Pro Toro SP 3040 Diamond Groomer. And I think that I'll include in this motion a budget amendment to make that happen.
Hasley will second.
If we
The-
can take that as one
yeah,
motion. Willing to make two if that's cleaner.
yeah, in the resolution of the funding allocation is city council approved funding from the budget for ceiling repairs at the park, so it's
It's
notated,
included,
so.
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
fair enough.
All right, got a motion and a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. 5D, resolution 2629, updating the park fees schedule. I guess I'm gonna ask that we, send this to council approving the changes in the fees. And we will actually have another update for the fee schedule probably in the first July meeting. That'll include the fire department changes for, fire inspections fees.
Or whenever that,
Or whenever that comes
yeah,
through.
whenever we get that.
I-
Be nice to do that once.
Go ahead.
Yep, I was emailing back and forth with Gabe asking how fast that needs to be done, and he has some time. He wants to get his fee schedule and his, marketing documentation done sometime before, like in August, so he can start publishing that out for, subsequent, bookings. So I think we're still good for at least a couple weeks here to get that kind of squared around, so. I will make that motion to send those, updated park fees to council for approval.
Should the data be 2026?
That's how Gabe's report. It's just Gabe's report. He didn't change the number.
The resolution,
There's two reports.
Oh, is there in there too?
There's the,
Oh, it's
there's
showing the
25,
old-
it's showing old and the
Okay.
new one with the highlighted,
Pretty one.
Proposal,
That's
very
pretty
good,
Change amounts.
okay. I missed it,
old.
thank you.
No, yeah.
all good, no other questions?
I don't have anything, Charlie.
Second, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, got a motion and a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Rolling task list.
Doing the financial report.
You seem to have to.
Yes, they did.
Huh?
They did
I
it.
must have been.
Is it one of the handouts?
Same thing, so.
What's the matter?
There's a handout
It's right here.
that's also in the back.
Very good.
I just
Is it
wanted
on
to-
both agendas, or we were just gonna talk?
I don't know, or just,
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm not sure what you're talking about now. The task list? Yeah,
The
that
task
report.
list is in your packet, but
Yep.
I also give you a handout for it.
Yep.
It's the same thing.
Is it the same?
Okay.
Okay.
She just wanna make sure we had it.
yeah.
Had it,
Thorough.
girl.
That's what you call it.
Do you have any comments on anything on the task list, Lana, off the bat?
Other than we really need to put on the agenda the fund and debt policy change.
Yeah,
That's a priority there.
So-
No,
we got a little bit with the presentation, was supposed to dovetail in where we're setting our debt limits,
Right.
For the debt policy. In July, I wanna put some priority on this. Budget obviously is probably gonna be planted into that, but we need to,
I can mark some of this.
come up with a recommendation for our ordinance. So there are some handouts, you probably may have gotten these on the debt, recommendations and some of the different ways that it's done, I think is
I think it's in the council
this,
packet.
it's in the packet, right?
One of the packets I read it.
We won't have time to address that this meeting, but I would like to get that done soon.
Well, can we just chat briefly about
We,
what?
we can, we got
12 that are-
we have 10 minutes,
all,
so,
all that are on here.
Yep.
So obviously, we know we still have to work in the handbook. The AI policy, I have a really awesome AI policy that the county put together that I can share with you guys. I mean, it's
Yeah.
quite,
We
quite
can take a combination. of
yeah,
that.
it was quite interesting to go through that, so I can share the, county one with you. Fire chief, obviously, we're doing that. Are we done with the delinquent bills and the collections and fees? I mean, we passed the
Yeah. we can
ordinance,
take
we
that
did
off.
all that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll take
So
that off now.
that can come off.
And then
Yep,
fire
take
department
that.
donations, that's what I was talking about
Yep.
earlier, we're good with
That's-
that?
we're
Everybody
good with
understands?
that. Yep.
Okay, the utilities write-off, so are we done with that?
No, I'm still working on
Okay,
that. I
that's
found
fine.
a sum on that, and then,
Plans for
Plans.
Hickory and Maple Review Housing. So Hickory and Maple is a conversation we're having roughly in the road projects, which is 29 potentially. I mean,
do
it's,
you need this on here then?
I don't think so. Chad and I, from our meeting we had this morning, we want to get with the DPW or the Public Works Committee again, because every year we should just take a look at our list and make sure, I mean, some of them we know we're not moving, but we have a lot of TBDs in there, so we just
I'll
need to.
just remove that for now, we can add it later
Yeah,
then.
we'll work on that, because obviously Barry needs to be involved in that too. Yeah, the review the housing thing was just a matter
Mhm.
of, if we put that road in, if we do all of that, you know, we don't have the stubs and all that, so I'm actively trying to get someone to do something over there. Just-
Okay.
But it doesn't really need to be on there.
Okay.
And then that's your
We already-
policy we were just talking about. What is overpayments of city property taxes? What's that mean?
Well, because when people overpay and we're sending a check out for 25 cents,
Oh, Jesus.
so having a policy that anything under, I think it's under $5 that
Is there a
we
legal
don't-
statute for
Yeah,
that?
that we, most municipalities have that because the cost, we send out a refund for 50 cents and the stamp costs us 80.
Right.
So there's usually that, so that's where, that was one of the to-dos, so we could get a policy on that. So I
Is that
can
a-
get some examples
Has
of
that got
that.
anything to do with an ordinance, or is it just a policy? I mean, is there a tax ordinance that thou shalt pay your taxes? I mean, I
I
don't,
think it's just a
Policy?
it's policy, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure, but I'll double check on
yeah,
that one,
is it a policy?
because
or
it's
an
been on here
ordinance?
for a while.
Okay,
Does the utility have a policy that they refund if someone moves out and they have a balance? Is there,
Yeah, we found out now, it's better that we just send them a cashier's check if we can't find them. Or they don't respond, we just send them a cashier's check.
but do you have a limit?
limit, yeah.
So
dollar
you're not
limit.
sending one out for
No,
25
because
cents?
most of ours are all $80, $100.
Yeah.
Oh,
More substantial?
well, trust me, we get ones for 50 cents and 75 cents.
Yeah, so whatever the
So-
legal statutes that we can do.
Yeah, if
Don't
there's a
know how that
statute where you write some of that stuff off,
Yeah.
'cause
I'll get the information
Yeah.
so we can have that.
Okay,
that'd be good.
And then we got the revised fund balance, which that's on there. And then Chad is working with, we talked today.
go ahead.
Oh, we spoke today about setting up for the meeting with the townships. And, so he's gonna, because of his schedule, that type of thing, I gave him what, the town of Waterloo can do. And he's going to handle, getting that set up, because it just makes sense with his schedule than me being in between it.
Yeah.
So, cause his dates are so, variety. I think we were talking about a Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
That was.
Looks like it's probably doable.
In July?
And we still, at least the next one that we wanna do in person, we wouldn't wanna do it Teams or anything, cause there's probably
Yeah.
better discussion that way, okay?
and do it at the fire department.
Sure.
And we
Yeah.
just,
Yeah,
it
it
was,
doesn't matter.
yeah, well, it doesn't matter, whoever, wherever, they just were like, it's not at the fire department, so,
I prefer
I
it
don't
at the
care.
department.
Yeah, that.
you know, it's fine, as long as it works for you guys for training.
They might have popcorn or something.
Nice.
Might.
Okay.
Yeah, so, just to give you an update on that, he's
Okay.
getting that set up for me, so, because it just made more sense to do
I
it that
may
way.
have somewhat of an update in the first meeting in July. At the county level, it got sent to the, finance committee, so may not know anything until August. So,
Okay.
Alright, so
and
we're-
department head reviews, is that just for next, just a
No,
reminder?
I'm gonna take
always?
that off, it's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah, I
that
just
was a
haven't- I-
reminder.
Yeah, so I'm glad we went through this, so the things that
Yeah.
well, I knew to take that off, I just forgot. But the rest of them, I'll just,
Don't we have like a calendar? Calendar
what?
for finance?
Oh, I don't
But
know.
that should just be in there in like January or whatever?
No, we can put it in there, yeah.
I
Okay,
thought it was, but.
So,
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, so get rid of that.
In your package.
The calendar.
I don't know if this
Senior
falls necessarily under finance and personnel, but, the mayor and I have been talking about creating somewhere on the shared drive
Oh, yeah.
a folder where we can dump pertinent information, like an updated copy of this. If we don't, so we don't have to go back and look at, past agendas, or if we don't have a paper copy, we can just go on, log into our email system and access that. We can put together a FAQ on how to do that, but much like you have the share folders on your SharePoint site now, but make some committee-based ones where we can use it as a repository of information.
And just
If you
things
show me
you,
how to do that, I'd be happy to.
Okay.
Put it in there.
yeah.
Because I know I had it on share. I shared it, but I don't know if there's a difference.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like just on an email.
Make it
thing that
easier
we
for them
did.
Do
to
it,
find,
okay.
you know,
Yeah, no,
maybe
that's
it's just a
perfect.
matter of making shortcuts, but
The
I think that would be
handbook,
helpful.
even the
Yeah, and the
contract.
handbook we've been working on.
74 days and I'll have a lot more time.
Yes. Me too.
Motion to adjourn, unless anyone has a future item or announcement.
Haslai will make a motion to adjourn.
That a
but
girl.
She's right on that.
Motion and a second, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries, thanks.
Cummings here?
Zimmerman here.
We're here.
Haslai here.
DJ's in Hawaii. All right, meeting minutes approval of June 4th. Are there any additions or corrections?
I was absent, so I can't. What's the matter? I was absent. She wasn't here.
Who makes a motion to approve the meeting minutes from June 4th?
Zimmerman will second.
Motion by Cool, second by Zimmerman to approve the meeting minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
I'll abstain.
Opposed? Motion carried. Citizen input, seeing none. Presentation, update from Ehlers.
That was misunderstanding.
Okay, well, I didn't know if you wanted Lana to go through it, but she doesn't have to.
I don't care if Lana wants to go through it, if she'd like to, I don't know.
Most of the people were in here. It was just an update for budget. We're good. No problem.
Oh,
Meeting summaries from the last council meeting. Water and light, Richard.
Hold on a second.
What?
I just got a message that there's no audio.
Yeah, they know about it, they've been working on it
working on
since
it.
the first one.
Thank you.
It's not been for any of it.
Just
Thank you very
wanted,
much.
just wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
No
Okay,
problem.
I wasn't
We're
here,
trying.
sorry.
We're
If
trying.
anybody is watching us, all they see is our mouth moving.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right, water and light, Richard.
Actually, very little. 2 items are coming here, the Liftstation bids and the CMAR report. We discussed the water softener rebates and general information in the bills.
Wonderful, thank you. Cable board, that is in your packet. CDA, there was no meeting, right?
Correct.
All right, that was done. And finance, Charlie?
Yeah, we had a presentation from Ehlers on our, financial management plan projections. It was very informative. we will definitely use as a tool as we go into budget season. We discussed, the rolling task list, several items on there, and, some discussion regarding the ordinance, regarding the fire department organization regulations. The rest of the items are on the agenda, I believe.
Thank you. Reports of officials are also all in your packet.
Except for the Watertown Humane Society, which
Correct.
is a struggle to get these days.
Always. So if anybody has any questions, I was just gonna comment on the EMS meeting minutes, which must have been a very busy meeting, but I like that you guys are all going to the townships and being a part of that. That is awesome. The dispatching, I'm glad, Chad, you got involved in that, so I know that that's still a conversation, but from what I understand, they can call it, but you have the right to call it off or something like that.
Yeah, it's a work in progress. At least
Right.
we've got a seat at the table now to get things done properly in the backside of it,
Yeah.
so it doesn't get all snappy
Yeah,
on the
when
front
that
side.
came out, I mean, it was briefly mentioned in our county EMS meeting, but it was never, ever explained.
Yeah, and it was kind of an oversight. I don't think they understood the whole ramifications of how it affected our program that we've got with the state and everything else. So it's kind of, it was a little ripple effect.
Right.
But now that it's all taken care of, we should be able to get it straightened out and have it work well.
Yep, that is fantastic. Yeah, so the ambulance, it's here, but are we still working on it? Because this was from May 26th.
Yes, new ambulance is here, it is currently getting graphics. And then it will be, we'll be training with it so we can get it in service.
Fantastic, all right. Anybody else? Oh, you said you're putting together a health and safety committee. What is that?
It's actually a requirement that we need to have, in accordance with SBS 330. It's just basically making sure that we take care of slips, trips, falls, investigate any injury reports
Within the fire department?
within the fire
Oh,
department,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. Anything else?
Is there a policy, like, fleshed out for that kind of stuff?
It's getting developed with it.
Okay. So I would imagine the league probably has resources that could come to bear
Well, if
with
it's part of
that.
the SPS 333, whatever, 330?
That's just requiring that you have to have a health and safety officer.
Yeah.
Yep,
So the health and safety officer will run the committee for investigations and making sure, taking complaints and so on and so
Would
forth.
you say if you need any resources, the league, we have access to the league resources, and they
Yeah,
may
they might
have
have some where we-
boilerplate ones that you could utilize if
That we
that's
can
a-
just cut and paste and use.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can look into it.
Reinvent the wheel.
yep.
Good looking at ours, so.
All right, anybody else? I did trip and fall today, so, wow.
That's because I pushed you.
Cummings will make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
I can do that.
Wired will second.
Motion by Cummings, second by Wyatt to approve the consent agenda items. All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? Motion carried. No old business, new business. We are on the liquor license applications. It is that time of year.
I'd like to
And
speak on that.
you go right ahead and speak.
So, you have all the liquor licenses, the chief of police, Officer Chief Warner, he has approved them all. They're the same as before. The only issue we do have is with the solarium. So I reached out to the attorney, over the last few weeks, and, he advises us, to conditionally approve the solarium. It needs to come into compliance, though, with all building codes and fire code requirements. And he cites the code section, the city is not permitted to issue a Class B alcohol license until such time that the solarium is in compliance with state building code and fire code. Compliance shall be verified by the city building inspector and the city fire inspector. And I do have a copy of the last fire inspection from Matt, if anyone would like to see that. but, I need to get Jose's list, but I do know for a fact that there's permits that were never applied for. So that would be the first thing on the building inspection side that would need to be done. So his advice was to conditionally approve it with these conditions that once those things are done, they would get their license, but not until then.
And they have to apply for it this month, correct?
They
Or can
usually,
they-
they won't get it
If-
until,
If it was denied, they could come back and reapply for it at a later date once they're in compliance.
Speak to the denial thing, that's the hard thing to do.
yeah,
Right.
it's a better option to conditionally approve with the conditions listed, that they need to be cleared by the building inspector and the fire inspector.
Meaning they don't have a license until that happens.
Yeah,
It will
I would
get
not
issued.
give them the new license July first, unless they had everything and had the inspectors there, and they were like, yep, everything is done, you can have your license now.
So
Follow
there,
up on Charlie's concern, how long are we gonna give them to come into compliance?
yes,
Especially if we have other people
It's-
waiting for them.
It's a,
Are we gonna
it's
give
a,
them
it's
a
an
month, 30
interesting
days, 60
slope
days?
we're
What?
on, and
Right.
so as of this point, I think we could, put an optional time on there that you would like, but we should not, we could come back and revisit it maybe in a month if nothing's happened, and then give them an ultimatum. It's first best to just conditionally approve it.
I thought for some reason when we had, like, the canopy closed down, for example, whoever had that license, I thought there was some, I don't know if it was our rule, state rule, that if you didn't use it within 1 year, it was forfeited. Because if you do, you can't just hold on to a license and don't have an establishment.
Right, you have to have a building, you have to have, that's what we went through before with the, before Mama's opened. So yes, you have to have a building, a location, or something you're fixing up, but you
Yeah.
do have you can have that for that year. But in this case, it's a little different because it's a renewal.
Okay.
It's not a new one, it's a renewal, and so
Right.
to best
Okay.
protect the city in our,
right.
it's
I get it.
advised by the attorney to conditionally approve. If we see no movement, you can set a time limit, that's up to you.
We probably need a lawyer to confirm, can we say it's 3 months, or
Right,
6
'cause
months, or
there's
9
probably,
months?
like, Safe Build might have reinspection timeframes, and we don't have those, or
we
the
have-
fire
The fire
department.
department-
The fire
inspection.
department does, because at some point that would go to the state, is what Matt told me last. So
Like,
that's
are
what
we
we
to that
discussed.
point?
Yes,
We are.
yes.
So is it already there? Is it already happening?
No, it has not been sent to the state yet.
Matt was basically waiting for direction
Okay,
from there, but yeah, it's to that point.
So are we even grandfather them in if they have any events that go on, say they have a
No,
wedding?
they
or
no,
something,
can't.
they
no,
just
they
can't do
can't,
anything?
period.
No,
It's conditionally approved once they fix
they
everything.
have to, they
So
have to fix the things. If
right.
they don't fix the things, then it would not, they cannot have anything there until, they can have it through the end of this month.
Do we have a list of things that
Yes,
they need to
there
fix?
is.
I-
That we
I-
can base the timeline
I have
off
the,
of?
I have a list of things from Matt, but I do not have the list from Jose. I just know that building permits, which they were told in the previous letter sent, were told to be applied for, which have not been.
They still haven't. Oh, good grief. Okay. All right. Any other questions? We could make the motion to
Right.
find out
This is
from
what
the
I,
lawyer if there's a time frame we can establish.
I wonder if it behooves us to make 2 separate motions.
Okay?
One to approve the approvable ones, and another motion to approve conditionally
Okay.
the solarium itself. That way we can operate on its
on
own
a, on a
merits.
cleaner
I am-
basis.
Yeah.
I am to
it's
reach
probably a
out
good
to
idea.
the attorney tomorrow, and he will, work with me to craft the letter of what he will be sending them. Cause we have,
Okay.
we've talked to their legal team many times.
So I will
Okay.
make a motion to approve all the licenses with the exception of the solarium license.
Wyatt will second.
Motion by Cool, second by Wire to approve all licenses with the exception of the solarium. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Second motion.
Second motion, I will make the motion that we conditionally approve the solarium's permit pending review on the, what's the next month would be 16th of July's meeting. That would be 1 month, roughly a month for us. Calendar's kind of wonky, but, and require them to come in conformance of all building regulations or ordinances and fire inspection. Is that clear enough?
When would you be sending it to the state and what is their time frame? Do you have a clue on that?
Matt, that's a Matt thing.
That's a Matt thing?
And he's, yeah, I talked to him on the phone
When
today.
you would be sending it to?
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what their time frame.
My thought would be if it comes back here on the 16th of July
Okay.
and it's not in compliance, we deny it or have them send it to the
I
state.
don't think we can do that.
do-
What,
That's why I was thinking, well,
It
we have
says
a
this
motion
would-
on the table.
We have a motion, so we just need a second or.
Well,
And then we can still talk about it.
yeah, okay.
Do we have a second or we're gonna let it die?
I'm not
Coming-
prepared to
yeah.
second.
I mean, Cummings will second,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
think that if we,
Now we
Yeah.
can discuss it.
Yes.
yeah,
So, because I read what Bill wrote on that, or Chris wrote on that too, that it's a sticky wicket, but if we put in, that not necessarily coming back in July, but if Bill can, or the attorneys can give us a date, like they have 3 months or 2 months, and that's when we can put it back on the agenda, but then can we deny it?
Yes.
That would be the
We
question.
ultimately can, but it's a safer way to, it's a best route for us to take this as conditionally, at this time. Make it
And we
very
can
clear to
set
them
the-
what the expectations are,
Right.
we have state statutes for plumbing, I have numerous, items here. And we would send that letter to them stating that, and that we could put in there that you'll revisit it on the July meeting
16th.
and decide,
To see if
Yeah,
there's
you certainly
progress.
Because,
To
I
see
mean-
if there's progress.
because if
Yeah.
he's made zero progress
fair enough.
and he's not tried to work on anything, or let's say he did and he got quotes and
Yeah.
has it,
Moving forward.
it's moving forward, then
They
at
should
least
come
we know
here
that he
and
is
meet with
trying.
us.
I
That's
don't think we
exactly
should
what
put a
all we
3 month, I
want.
think we
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
say by July 16th. So then it kind of puts the fire under his butt and says, you gotta get moving, or,
This is just one thing, I mean, we're dealing with fire
Yep.
ordinance, and they're not in compliance, and there's occupants in that, there's
For over a
occupants in
year?
that building.
okay.
Oh,
So it's been over a year.
It's ridiculous.
So
Right.
we're gonna give him 1 month.
So,
All right,
1 month for what?
1 month to
come back with some.
come back with
I-
either A,
I mean, this is hypothetical at this point, but the fire chief could make the call and send it to the state right
I
now.
think they probably
But-
should, so.
As far as their liquor license is what is on the table here,
Yep.
but that all plays in, so I would say pending a review, like the
July.
motion was,
July 16th?
yep. We will conditionally approve it
Review on.
if the solarium comes in full compliance.
16th, yeah.
Yep, 16th.
And then Bill
Are
or
you
Chris, who's ever right.
Using the 16th as a date, or are you saying?
Is a
until-
date for the council to review whether progress has been made.
It's a month from now.
Okay, so you said two things. You're gonna conditionally approve it until they come into full compliance.
Correct.
And then you're also saying the 16th. So if they come in full compliance before that,
We won't need to review it at that point, right?
okay, I just wanna,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wanna understand, because.
Yeah, if they're not in full compliance, we would
Review
review
it on the
for
16th.
16th for further
Okay.
action.
That,
Further action.
Clear
Okay.
enough, yeah, thanks for the clarification, but that's the general feeling.
I was thinking timeline determined appropriate by the legal counsel.
Yes, that's where I was kind of going with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This has been an ongoing issue for better part of a year, to my recollection. So,
Too long.
So
Far.
It's a
Far too
slippery slope for the fire department as well, because
well,
they
there's,
should, if they should be enforcing it, they would've been closed already.
there's some inherent liability
Yeah.
with this,
Right.
with this process.
That's not the first time that's happened with fire inspections
Understood.
in the city, so.
So the lawyer's gonna draft that up?
I will be talking to him in the morning
Yeah.
with what you've decided to do. And, I will see if I have my list from Jose yet. I do have the last fire inspection from Matt, and he said that he has not been back in there since then, so this is the list that he would go from, to start off with.
And then they can put in the July 16th date in that letter too then.
Yes.
Okay, all right, anything else?
Yeah, could we back that up to like packet release date versus the meeting date? So that the information could be in the packet.
But we wouldn't be acting on it at that point. We'd be acting it on the 16th. We would be doing the review. It can be included in the, information can be included in the packet for us to review prior to the 16th.
I know what you're saying, though. You just wanna make sure that the work is done and we
Yeah.
aren't getting it the last minute. I understand.
Yep, I understand that.
Right, oh,
Okay. All good?
Question?
Any,
Let's-
all in favor? I didn't know if anybody else had any more questions. All in
Nope.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, the cigarette license are also a part of this packet.
Yes. Those are all approved again by Chief Warner.
Got it. All right,
Cummings will make a motion to approve the cigarette license applications for the license period 7/1/26 to 6/30/27.
Where will second?
motion by Cummings, second by Wire to approve the cigarette license. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Do we have the mobile home
Okay,
license
so
in there?
here's this story.
Oh,
They, because of our changes, we just got it back this afternoon. I didn't wanna give
Oh,
you
the
another.
document?
We got the document and the checks back this afternoon. I didn't wanna make you more copies to set in your desk. It's all signed. It's the application you just approved. But she just came in at 4:30, cause we have to notarize it now too, so she needed us and she hurt her back really bad.
okay.
So I was gonna make copies of it, and then I said to Lana, no, they have enough copies. So yes, we have received and the checks.
So we don't need to see anything, it's,
I can go get them, it's just a signature on the bottom of the page, that's
Yeah.
it's an application that you just approved. And it's filled
And it
out,
is filled out
Lana went
correctly?
over it with her and explained it,
okay.
and we spent time with it, but yeah,
As
there's.
long as you've certified that
100
it's
on-
it's
yep.
100% accurate, I will
Yep.
make the motion to approve the mobile home park licenses for the period of 7/1/26 through 6/30/27.
Oh, did we wanna do a conditional on that, remember?
Do we need to?
Because of the lateness in getting it to her, she doesn't have the list that we are requiring now, the list of the people in the email, is that right? Is that what you were telling her? And so, she said she'll have that July 1st.
We have the list, but I don't have the title numbers and
Yeah.
the phone numbers.
So she
yet.
was
She will
agreeing
have it,
by the 18th of next month.
Yeah, I gave her 30 days.
She said July 1st, she gets all of her information back.
They're
They're
redoing
redoing
all the
all the
pieces.
paperwork for all the, mobile homes. And so she will have that then, and she would be willing to have, or she will have that to us before our meeting on the, 18th.
meeting's on the 16th.
16.
I can't see here.
Yeah, sorry.
It's the 16th.
Oh, yeah, that would be a Saturday, so actually.
I just, because I talked to her on the
We
phone
just
for
get
quite
that 30
some time.
days.
So she said she would have, because she's redoing all the leases to get all that information there in the process. So she should have it all done by July 1st. So I said, if you can get it to me by then, so I can, so I said, I told her I would conditionally do
We had a
it.
motion on the table. We're having
Sorry,
discussion.
I
That's okay, give me a second.
I'll revise my motion to conditionally approve the mobile home park license pending successful completion of the documentation within 30 days.
Cummings will second.
There we go. So, do we physically give them like a legit license, you know, like
Yeah, we do.
permit?
But we
So-
won't give it to them until we get it.
Thank you.
Yeah, just like,
Okay,
yeah, the
just like everything
solariums will
else.
be in the folder, and when they come in compliance, and also them, when they come in compliance, they will actually get it.
Okay.
But we're conditionally saying it's okay for now, yes.
What are the
We dropped
ramifications?
it off to her because she got hurt, and so she didn't even,
Yeah.
they normally would get it beforehand, but she was hurt, so I was giving her a little grace on that.
And that's fine, but what are the ramifications? What if they don't?
But she won't get her permit, so we'd have to talk to legal then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because then she'd be operating it,
And she's very concerned about being in
compliance.
compliance with
Okay,
what we
good.
want.
I really would have to say, I know we'll get this stuff, I mean, and she gave me another phone number, off hours one, so if I have questions, because she was hard to get a hold of, so I got another number too.
But it doesn't come back to here for any reason. We're gonna conditionally approve it. You guys-
We don't come back here if we tell you we can't get it.
There you go.
That's,
All right.
it'll be brought back and say we
We have a
didn't.
list of the people, it's just that we were now requiring title
Sure.
numbers and phone numbers, that type of thing, so.
It's a big undertaking.
Yep.
Taking in 30 days.
Oh, yeah.
But because they have the
They
forms,
should
she's gonna give us,
Yeah.
she might even give us copies of the forms she's getting, just because
Yeah.
she wants us to, because she wants us to be, she wants to be compliant. She's very concerned about that. That was,
Good.
so we might get more than we,
Bargain for?
Very good.
That's all right.
we'll take it.
That's fine, I'll put it in the file.
All right. Any other questions? Motion by Cole, second by Cummings. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, recommendations, boards, committees, and commissions, finance, Charlie.
We have the I will make a motion to approve the May financial statements. Payroll in the amount of $95,357.58. General disbursements of $280,483.47. And the clerk treasurer's report on file at City Hall.
Cummings will second.
Is it 487 or 483? I think you said 3.
Did I?
Yeah,
Sorry, I was trying to get my glasses back on.
I hear you.
So corrected.
Okay, so it's 487.47. All right, motion by Cummings, I'm sorry, motion by Cool, second by Cummings. Roll call.
Cummings, yes.
Cool, yes.
Zimmerman, yes.
Thomas, yes.
Laird, yes.
Hessel, yes.
Motion carried. Resolution 2026-28, purchase of a sand probe.
So this was a piece of equipment at the park that is a vital piece of equipment for redoing the diamonds. It was from back in 1983. I believe Chad stated it was also a used piece of equipment. So we needed to get a quick replacement for that. So Gabe got quotations for replacement of that and is offered to, in this amendment, to utilize up to $40,000 from the capital project for the ceilings in the upper pavilion to fund the purchase of this piece of equipment. So I will make the motion that we approve resolution 2628, the purchase of the Sand Pro 3040 using capital funds earmarked previously for the ceiling improvement.
Zimmerman will second.
Motion by Cool, second by Zimmerman to approve resolution 2026-28 for the Sand Pro. Any questions? Roll call.
Cummings, yes.
Cool, yes.
Zimmerman, yes.
Thomas, yes.
Laird, yes.
Hessel, yes.
Motion carried. Resolution 2026-29, updating the park fees on the fee schedule.
And as you see in the handout, there's some updated fees that Gabe and the Park Commission or Park Committee had approved for updates for next year. I'm not sure exactly, did he have a date on when he wanted to institute those?
August 2nd.
August 2nd, so.
I thought it was this year.
Yeah, so I'm making the motion to approve this, the new park fees. Knowing, and also that, we will include those on the fee schedule to be coming back at a later date. We have some changes with the fire department fees that are gonna be included in the fee schedule, so, hopefully I
And I'm assuming, go ahead.
explained that correctly.
Cummings will second.
Motion by Cool, second by Cummings to approve resolution 2026-29. Are you and Jeannie kind of zipping through that thing just to see if there's anything else in that fee schedule?
I'm gonna send him a
The
copy of it, we
permits?
just talked about it, I'm gonna send him a copy of it so he can look it over.
Who, him?
And so Chad, the guy shaking his.
Oh, him? Okay.
Yeah, and he's gonna look it over and make sure that there's, we aren't missing any of the fire department ones.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about, or you're talking
Just
overall?
in general, like the building
Overall too, is the
permits
building
and-
permits,
yeah.
are we staying in line with?
Yes, cause we just changed those, you guys just approved that
thought we
probably
did.
6 months ago,
Yeah.
maybe. Cause we got what the, Safe Built recommended, so we did just update all those.
Thank you.
But we can certainly look at it again.
Does that include the dog licenses too?
Yep, that was done, was done at the same time.
That is done at the same time?
Yeah, so that's why they are.
Well, so, I mean, so these things kind of come up sporadically throughout the year, but we want one overall,
Well, it's
like
good to
a
lump
date,
it if we,
Lump it
lump it
together
all together just to finalize it, okay. All right,
for the fee schedule portion of
Yep.
it.
yep,
Yeah.
I'm with you. All right, motion by Cool, second by Cummings, roll call?
Cummings, yes.
Cool, yes.
Zimmerman, yes.
Thomas, yes.
Where, yes?
Hassel, yes.
Motion carried. All right, Water and Light, Resolution 2026-25, is this our annual CMAR compliance report? Do you want to take that, or you want Barry to chat?
Yeah, the CMAR report is a report derived from information provided by the DNR from the test samples of the water from the wastewater treatment plant. And, once again, our crew got very good reports.
A's.
So I will move to approve Resolution 2026-25, review of the annual wastewater treatment plant compliance maintenance report.
Cummings will second.
Motion by Wired, second by Cummins, excuse me, to approve Resolution 2026-25. Any questions? All in
Got it
favor?
right? I got it right?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, Resolution 2026-27, lift station recommendations. Richard.
There was some remaining funds, USDA funds, that we weren't sure that we were gonna be able to capture. We did get under the timeline to capture them, and they are going to do some rehabilitation work to the lift stations. So this is a bid for that additional amount. And I'm scrolling to find the resolution.
Should be the very last thing in my little packet.
2027, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So Wyatt will move to approve resolution 2026-27, awarding the contract for lift station rehabilitation.
Cummings will second.
Motion by Wired, second by Cummings to approve Resolution 2026-27. Any questions? So what's the exact, oh, 837 is what that dollar amount is. Got it. I was just wondering where that was. All right, roll call.
Cummings, yes.
Cool, yes.
Zimmerman, yes.
Thomas, yes.
Wyatt, yes?
Hassel, yes.
Motion carried. Waterloo, fire and EMS packet on your table with the corrected red sheet. So assistance to firefighter grants that is due June 22nd. So is that the red one?
Yep, red one first, we'll take them separately.
Okay.
Fire department is seeking council authorization to apply for 2 federal grants administered through FEMA. We'll do the top one first, assistance to firefighter grants. It's gonna be the worksheet with the red header, Waterloo Fire Rescue. We are reaching the end of the useful service life for our self-contained breathing apparatus. The bottles themselves, carbon fiber wrapped air cylinders that we wear, have a service life of 15 years. So half of our fleet has reached that service life, so we need to replace those. The harnesses themselves the bottles strap into are also of the same age. And so with that, you run the risk of being harder to find service parts, so on and so forth. So we are proposing a project here for the replacement of 30 new SCBA's for the fire department. And this includes all the face piece and the batteries and the chargers and all the stuff that's required to make those things run. The updated quote today, hence for the updated sheet in front of you. We just received a quote from one of the vendors today at $440,212 for the entire project. Based on the population of the city of Waterloo is a 95% cover with a 5% cost share. So the liability to the city would only be $20,962 to fund that project. The application date for us to be able to apply is this coming Monday. So looking for the blessing to be able to get our application in on behalf of the city to hopefully have federal dollars to fund this project.
So we didn't get a resolution made in time, but I would still like to see one created,
I'm happy to
so
bring
it's all in there. Go ahead, Charlie.
Is this still a go or no-go for the grants, or did they cut it down and give you a portion of the funding? They don't alter them, basically. It's either you get it or you don't, right?
Correct.
Still, okay.
No partial,
No.
say yes or no, period. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Any questions, anyone else? So we'll get a resolution made, which I'll sign, just so it's formalized and documented.
Cool.
What's your pleasure?
Cool, make a motion to approve the fire department to apply for a federal grant, for the assistance to firefighter grants due on the 22nd for the amount of the project, $440,212, of which the cities would be a match of 5% of that.
Cummings will second.
Motion by Cool, second by Cummings to approve the firefighter grant. Any other questions? Let's hope we get it. Roll call.
Cummings, yes.
Cool, yes.
Zimmerman, yes.
Thomas says.
Where, yes.
Hassel, yes.
I meant to actually ask this before we did it. When would this come in?
The notifications are made September is when they're supposed to be telling people.
And
Maybe like
then,
a 27, I believe 27 is expenditure.
okay, so so we could put, if we get it, we'll know it, we could put the $20,000 in the budget for 2027. Got it.
And that, we do have an amount on our 5-year plan for this project anyway, so this
Yep.
aligns with what we've currently been.
Right,
Yeah.
we knew, we
Perfect.
knew all that, great. All right, thank you. Hopefully we get her. All right, so staffing for adequate fire and emergency response, also due June 22nd.
That'll be the other handout, the blue header, almost the exact same story. Every year they authorize federal grant monies for projects just like this. This one, we call it the SAFER grant, that acronym. Looking for authorization to apply for that one as well. Same due date of this coming Monday, June 22nd. For this one, we're proposing to write for basically a hiring grant. It's gonna help with the hiring of 4 additional full-time firefighter EMTs for our department. This will help, obviously, the staffing around the clock. All the shifts basically be covered by full-time people with this kind of hiring project. Total cost based on a $60,000 firefighter salary, $20,000 benefits, times 4 firefighters. The 3-year program cost would be $960,000. This one's a little bit different in that it's a roll-off grant. So for the first year 1 and year 2, the federal monies would cover 75% of that cost, and the table on your blue sheet will break that down. So the city would be liable for 25%, and then in year 3, that flips where the city would then be liable for 65% of the cost of those salaries. So those amounts are all broken down there, but ultimately this gets us up to minimum
Yeah.
appropriate staffing levels for our agency, our fire coverage area.
When is this gonna get announced?
Same deal.
September.
September, they are supposed to announce the.
Don't you guys
this-
always apply for this? We just never get it because we're just too darn small.
Yeah,
So we'll do another, resolution on this as well. So it does say in here, applying does not obligate the city to accept the award. So depending on what's going on with the county funding, we might only need 2 out of this versus 4, because we'll get 2 out of the, so is that an option that we can, if we get awarded, can we cut it back to 2 if needed, or? Do you have
Honestly, I don't have the answer to
food?
that right now.
Okay.
It's a great question, I have to look
Okay.
into that, but.
I thought you were obligated for the.
It's usually not recommended
Right.
to amend your
Got it.
Right.
works grant.
Okay, well, but then the funding from the county
Would
would
supplement,
absolutely,
yeah, would
correct,
supplement.
correct.
This just lets us hit the application window, just to at least have a chance at that.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yep, yep.
Would we
I thought
want,
this was going away for some reason. I thought they were eliminating this
It
program.
has been on the chopping block quite a bit for quite a few years.
Okay, but it's still
been
there.
reduced
Okay,
by far.
all right,
They thought the first year they paid 100%,
Yep.
and then it went down.
yeah.
It was-
I can't imagine how many applications
Oh,
there is. It's nationwide.
everybody's gonna do it.
Very
Right,
competitive, for sure.
right, right.
would we want to do a resolution until we find out if
It's a
we actually
resolution
get it?
authorizing them to do it.
Okay.
Just-
The
And then to
application.
state
Got
on
it.
the dollar,
Just
so
wanted
she
to
would
make
break
sure.
down this dollar amount
Yep.
and do it so that everybody's clear
Okay.
on what we're
All right,
potentially
Sounds good.
obligated for, but yes.
The other part of the grant is we actually have to have city approval now these days in order to actually apply for it too.
Which is a smart thing.
Because I guess there were some issues with other places in the past, so that's why they made it this kind of way, so.
Okay.
They require city.
We have that for every other grant we go out for too. It still has to come here for a resolution and passed by the council, and that has to be part of the packet to turn it in. So, being that you need that then,
Yeah, that's my question.
when are you gonna turn this in? Today's the
Monday.
18th?
It was amended.
Are you gonna be
So-
able to get a resolution done in the morning? That I
I
can come
can
in and
do
sign
it,
it?
but are you conditionally, so you're saying it's okay, yeah.
But
I-
they'll need the actual
yeah,
resolution to be
I'll
able
get
to,
it, I will work on it. Yep, I'll have it done.
and just let me know, I'll come in and sign it tomorrow.
When do you have to have it submitted by?
Monday.
Yeah, so
Monday at
can
midnight,
I,
probably.
Monday at midnight.
Yeah, Tuesday morning.
We got all day Monday too.
so,
Just do it Monday,
so
then
I'll
sign it.
just have it ready for you when you come in Monday.
Okay,
and
not a
we'll-
problem.
If that's okay with you guys, but I'll work on it. I have,
I don't think you get any points for getting it in ahead of time.
They're not looking at them, I'm sure.
They won't be, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's fine, if Monday's fine, that's perfect, that way
yeah,
we're sure we got everything right, and you're not
Yeah.
rushing it. That's
Okay.
fine, all right.
Cool, we'll motion to authorize the fire department to apply for the SAFER grant.
Zimmerman will second.
Motion by Cool,
We need to revisit
second by
that.
Zimmerman, I wrote a C. To approve the SAFER grant application with resolution to come. Roll call?
Cummings, yes?
Cool, yes.
Zimmerman, yes.
Thomas, yes.
Where, yes.
Motion carried, thank you. Future agenda items and announcements?
Wait, Mayor,
Yeah?
I was just alerted to a bit of an oversight on my part with Resolution 2026-27.
Okay.
We may need to remotion that. Has to be contingent on USDA approval as well. So
Does
if we
it
could.
say
it's in the
here?
resolution, yeah.
Is it?
This is
Okay.
This is
contingent upon
contingent-
approving,
Of
If
the
it's in the
funds by the
resolution, then
USDA.
that should be
This-
fine.
Yep.
it's in there.
Then it doesn't need to be a motion, thank you.
Fantastic. No problem. Thank you for checking. Future agenda items and announcements. We are having a meeting on the 2nd, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
Did you get
got-
a quorum?
yes.
Okay.
Planning Commission coming up on the 23rd. We got a meeting with the new people that are buying Duquesne Rolling Meadows, whatever they were called.
Drumlin, yeah.
Now they're Drumlin something or other, so if anybody's interested in seeing what that's gonna look like. So it's just them coming into the Planning Commission, showing us their new plans. We've vetted this so many times before, and this drawing is actually very, very nice, so police have, or the fire department and people have seen it, so then we'll be working on, I've already met with Casey and Keith from Ehlers, so we've had plenty of conversation on that. It's in a TID, but we need money over there as well, because we can do other improvements with it. So that's a good thing coming up
Next Tuesday.
next Tuesday, the 23rd, if anybody's bored and wants to come out. Anybody got anything over there?
Trek 100 is this weekend. Anybody that may have forgotten, they have a big event going on. Everything is set up and ready for that on our side.
Fantastic.
They are using some different residential streets this year than they have typically used.
That was all part of the path mapped out, yeah. Yeah. We met with Mitch this morning to go over South Van Buren Street, which according to the thing on GIS, there is no north and south, but we call it that. So that's getting in progress. We will be having like a public hearing for people, which I'll make Gabe do his little dog and pony show for that. So we'll have like a public information at a future DPW meeting, showing the drawings and what it's gonna look like and all that good stuff. And we still don't have a date just yet on North Van Buren and Taylor.
No, we're waiting to hear back a day from Wolf Paving.
Okay.
So they're aware of it, they've awarded contracts.
One of the things that we wanna do is have a spot on our website for just like normal announcements or what's going on, whatever Gabe wants to call it, so that we can kinda keep all of this stuff on a website so people can see it along with him doing Facebook posts and stuff like that, so. Yeah, cause the paper doesn't print anything decent for us, ever. So, we need to get it out there somehow.
You mean that thing I got is Wiener Kraut Day.
Okay.
Plans are starting. We've had 2 meetings already, so anybody's got any input, ready to listen.
Alrighty,
That's all I got.
sounds good. Anybody else?
Cool, makes motion to adjourn.
Cummings will second.
Motion by Cool, second by Cummings to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Have a good night. All right. Doesn't matter.
Nothing.
So, just working this weekend, no big deal.